Shalom Rabotai, Shabbat Nachamu Shalom. This Shabbat, after Tisha B'Av, special Shabbat, the Shabbat of Nechama, Shabbat of having the hope, the tikvah, to get back to what we once were. And there's a lot of interesting connections between this Shabbat and the parasha that we read in it, Parashat Vaetchanan. I saw one idea which I thought was very, very beautiful. I'd love to share with you about this parasha. One of the mitzvot in the parasha is the mitzvah of Arei Miklat, that right now Moshe Rabbeinu, before passing away, before he's allowed to enter Israel, he decides to do at least the last mitzvah he can that has to do with Israel, which is to separate Arei Miklat, separate 3 cities of refuge, where if someone would kill accidentally, then he is exiled to these cities. And there's a very interesting pasuk. The pasuk says, "V'nas el achat min ha'arim ha'el v'chai." The pasuk says that the person who kills someone accidentally has to go to the city, v'chai, and he live there. Says the Gemara, what doesn't mean he will live there. The simple understanding is he goes there, and there no one can touch him. Regularly, the relatives, the person who he killed, would be perhaps allowed to harm him. Now, in these cities, he's protected. Says the Gemara, there's an extra limud, there's an extra idea that we learn from this word, v'chai, that he should live there. Says the Gemara, talmid she harag b'shogeg. A talmid, a student, someone who learns from a rabbi, and this student, he kills someone accidentally. Now, he has to be exiled to one of these cities. The halakha tells you, v'chai, you have to make sure he lives. What does that mean? Making sure he lives means, his rabbi has to go to galut with the student. Why? Says the Gemara, when a person is exiled, he's sent away, we have to make sure, society, Am Yisrael, have to look out for him, make sure he has what he needs. V'chai, has to live. And to live means his rabbi has to go along with him. Baruch Bar Lebovitz, he would point out, if you catch Shmuel, he would point out that the Gemara says in Gittin talks about an Eved, a slave kills accidentally. He also is exiled, and if his rabbi tells him, you can feed yourself, take the man that you work, Maseh Adecha, whatever you earn, and instead of giving it to me, you keep it to feed yourself, he should keep it, but anything that's extra, more than the basic minimum bare needs that he needs, he has to give his the owner because that belongs to the owner. This is the Gemara. What's the reason? Because the owner is only fulfilling the mitzvah of the Torah. V'chai is giving the slave, the Eved, what he needs. He needs to eat, but he doesn't need to have anything beyond the bare basics. Therefore, he never intended to tell him to keep more than the bare basics. He can just keep the food that he needs to eat, but anything extra belongs to the Ba'ala, to the owner of this servant. Says Baruch Bar Lebovitz, we learn that the v'chai means that the only thing a person needs to be given by society when he's exiled is his bare needs, the things that he absolutely needs, nothing extra. That means this person, Talmid, is learning from a rabbi. There's a rabbi who he likes to learn from him. He could, if he's exiled, he could learn from other people. There's other rabbis in that town. There's books he can learn from. But that's not good enough. The fact that he learns better is used to own rabbis, the rabbi who he learns from, the rabbi who he likes to learn from, that desire to learn from him and the amount that he improves in his learning is better because he learned from this rabbi. That's a basic bare need for life. The Rambam says this very, very clearly. He says people who are ohavei chokhmah, people who love Hashem, love chokhmah, love Torah, says for them, v'lo talmud Torah kemitah chashuvim. People like this, when they have no Torah to the quality that they want to have, it's as if they're dead. There is a lesson about us nowadays in Tisha B'Av. A lot of us have trouble knowing what we're mourning for, what is that we're looking forward towards. The more we feel, the more we know that we can have a life which is infinitely better, infinitely different from the life that we live in this world, full of ester, choshech, full of lack of clarity, full of darkness. We could live a world full of Torah, full of light, full of brightness, full of Hashem, a world of real living. That's the morning of Tisha B'Av is that we're missing that. And the nechama that we have this Shabbat, more than anything else, nechamu, ami, Hashem is benachem. Hashem says you can have a nechama, I am with you. Hashem goes with us in this galut, and He's there to hold us through the galut, and Hashem is there to take us out, and to be fully there with us, bring us back to be really a living nation. Am Kadosh will be a nation, Am Segula Hashem, a nation that stands out from all the nations. Amen.